Hey everyone, I'm Andrea and this is Knowing Yoga. Thanks for joining me on the mat today. If you like the videos on Knowing Yoga, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Today's sequence is going to be a flow focused on releasing tension and stress in the muscles of the neck and the upper back and the shoulders. So we're really going to focus on stretching those muscles out and then building strength and releasing tension. We tend to hold a lot of anxiety, stress, tension in the neck and shoulders. So when we release it physically, we can release it a little bit emotionally as well. So yoga is awesome because it helps us check in with our body, tune into the body, and listen to cues that it's giving us about how we're feeling emotionally. And once we know how we're feeling, we can nurture ourselves, check in on ourselves, and then release any tension, stress, energy that we need to. So today we're going to start with some stretches and then do some exercises to support those muscles and then stretch out again at the end. All of this will help relieve the muscle tension, improving posture, decreasing headaches. And remember, when we improve our posture, then we create more space for deeper breathing, and that helps us stay calm and relaxed as well. So let's start our practice today by grounding through the senses, really coming into the moment on the mat and just forgetting and letting go of everything else that's not right here in this moment on the mat with us. So take a minute, take a breath, and then look around the room, the space that you're in, and identify 5 things that you can see, just observing and describing them to yourself. Sticking to facts of what you can see without judgments. And now we're going to reach around and touch 4 things, observing and describing what we're sensing through touch. So noticing texture, temperature, pliability, good. And then now we can draw our eye gaze down. You can close your eyes if you want. And try and notice 3 sounds that you can hear in this space. And then notice any smells or any tastes. Alright, good. And when you're ready, open your eyes or draw your eye gaze back up. And let's start loosening up the muscles in the neck and shoulders. So we're going to take our arms and interlace our hands behind us at the small of our back. And when we do this, we want to roll the shoulders down and back. So moving the shoulder blades together towards each other, towards the spine, and then squeezing the elbows gently towards each other as well. It's really opening up the chest. And then we're going to take our hands and bring them to our right hip bone. And then the eye gaze goes over the right shoulder. Bring that right elbow back in behind you more. And take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, come back to center. Shoulder blades squeezing towards each other. Elbows gently pulling towards each other. And then exhale, moving the hands to the left hip bone. And then eye gaze over the left shoulder. Check in with your elbows. Pull them gently towards each other. And remember, listen to your body. If something doesn't feel good, don't do it. Back out of it and do what you can. Exhale, release. Good. And now we're just going to bring our arms down to our knees. If you're sitting in easy pose, if you're sitting in a chair, same thing, hands to knees. And we're going to do an exercise where first we're going to do a little eye yoga. So move your eye gaze to right while keeping your chin centered. And then begin to tilt your right ear towards your right shoulder, holding your eye gaze to the right. And now, without moving your head, bring your eye gaze up and over to the left corner. Upward to the left. You might notice an increase in range of motion now. You might notice those muscles releasing a little bit more. Good, and inhale back to center. Eye gaze center. Take a deep breath. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, eye gaze to the left. So keeping the chin neutral, eye gaze to the left. And then gently bringing the left ear towards the left shoulder. Eye gaze still towards the left, so now pointed down towards the floor. And now we're moving that eye gaze up to the right corner of our eyes. So now it's pointing towards the ceiling. And notice any increased range of motion, any more release. And then eyes back to center and inhale, crown the head towards the ceiling. Good. All right, so now we're going to move into a tabletop position to do a couple more stretches here. So if your knees are aching, you can bring them onto a blanket. If being on your knees doesn't feel good, you can actually lay down on elbows too and do the same stretch. So whatever feels good for you. So we're going to come into tabletop position and press in through the fingertips, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, feet hip-width distance apart. And we're going to play around with our head position. So just kind of feel what it feels like to lift the head up and lower the head down. And remember, we're not sinking into the shoulders, we're lifting out of the shoulders. And then find that middle ground between high and low with head placement. And then begin to move your left ear towards the left shoulder. And when you get resistance, just pause, hold it there. And now continue to move the left ear towards the shoulder while curving the spine. And you can kind of glance back at that left foot. Staying for a breath or two. Good, and then inhale back to center slowly. Kind of readjust, find your position here. And then lifting out of the shoulders, pressing into the fingertips, keeping the weight of the hands, or the weight of the body out of the wrists. And again, find that position in between high and low for your head placement. And then begin to take the right ear towards the right shoulder, stretching the left side of the neck. Stopping when you feel resistance. And now continue to move the right ear backwards until you can glance back at that right foot. And then inhale back to center. You can move the blanket out of the way, or you can keep it, whatever works for you here. I'm going to tuck in the shirt, and then we're going to move backwards into a child's pose. So from here, you can have a blanket in between hips and heels, and then just stretch out, really grounding the forehead down into the earth. Feeling a sense of safety and grounding here. And if you have flexibility in the shoulders, and you want to release them a little bit more, you can place your hands on blocks, and then bring the forehead to the ground. That's not totally in my comfort zone today. So I I'm just going to leave my hands on the floor. Breathing deep into the sides of the rib cage. Good. And then we're going to inhale back up into tabletop. And then curl the toes under and send the hips back to the heels. Stretching through the calves, the tops of the feet, the bottoms of the feet, sorry. Couple of deep breaths here. Again, lifting out of the shoulders. Good, and then maybe walk the hands forward a couple of inches. Hips come up, and then on your exhale, coming into your first down dog. If down dog doesn't feel good for you, you can meet us in forward fold at the top of the mat. And if you want to do some chair yoga, you can have a chair at the top of the mat that you can lean forward on. So we're just going to kind of walk the dog, let the hips go side to side, finding some space in the body here. Inhale, maybe the heels come up. Exhale, the hips shift back and the heels fall down. And again, if you want to place blocks under the hands here in down dog to open up the shoulders more, feel free. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, we're going to bend the knees. Exhale, walk forward, coming into our forward fold. So we can grab elbow to elbow, swing side to side if that feels good. Slight bend in the knees, protecting the lower back. You can have a block underneath you at whatever height that feels better to touch the block. So wherever you're at, just meeting yourself there without judgment. All right, now we're going to root our feet down into the earth. Pull the belly button in tight to the spine. Inhale up with a flat back. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, from here, we're going to come into a chair pose. Feet are about hip-width distance apart. And then we're going to send the weight into our heels. Seat coming back up, it's in a chair. Arms up, and then let's lift the shoulders up towards the ceiling, trying to get them over the hips for a variation of chair pose. And then let's bring the shoulder blades towards each other in the back. Sit the hips lower and back, belly pulls in. Inhale up. Exhale, lower, arms pulling towards the back of the room. Inhale up. Elbows pulling down and back towards each other. Let's do one more. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. And before we start our flow, we're going to do a little toning for the traps in the back, which also helps with posture. So we're going to grab elbow to elbow lightly. And without moving the hips back and forth, we're just going to move the shoulders. So elbow to elbow, letting the arms hang. We're just going to go 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then move the elbows up to shoulder height. 1, 2, 3. And now above the head. Good. And up here, let's switch our grip, grabbing the elbow, other opposite arm on top. Breathe in and out. And then let's do our trap twist. Good. Lower down. And then all the way low. Good. Exhale. All right. From here, we're going to go into our flow, focused on opening up the chest, releasing tension in the neck and shoulders. So feet hip-width distance. Find your mountain posture. Find the 4 corners of your feet. Big toe, little toe, back 2 corners of the heels. Zip up through the legs, inner thighs pulling towards salutation, place one on top of your mat, and then you can go from there. If not, you can just kind of follow me. I'll be doing 3 variations as we move along. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, lower, and just hang here for a second. If you want to move through a full chaturanga dandasana, go ahead. I'm going to come down into tabletop and do a cat-cow. Inhale up, exhale round, and then you can go back into child's pose or come into down dog, whatever feels good for you. And then let's meet in forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walking those feet to the top. Forward fold. Big exhale here. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, lower. Root into the earth to rise up with a flat back. Exhale, hands to heart center. Just creating some heat in the body, getting some energy going, warming up the muscles. All right, inhale up. Exhale, flat back down. Halfway lift. Exhale, lower down into tabletop, plank or half plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale into child's pose or down dog. And just hang here. Couple of breaths. Meeting yourself where you're at and listening to your body. Do whatever variation of sun salutation works for you today. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Exhale, walking to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. Find your center here. Can even close your eyes. Checking in with your body, seeing where you're at right now. In our mountain posture, we're engaged, toes, legs, belly. All right, inhale, arms up. Exhale, flat back, belly pulls in, forward fold. Inhale up. Exhale, lower down into your plank or half plank or tabletop. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise up into up dog or cobra. And then exhale, down dog or child's pose. Resting here for a moment. All right, and from here, we're going to lift the right leg. If you're in tabletop, just step your right leg forward. And then pulling the right leg through. Let's turn our left foot at a 45, coming into warrior one position. Woo. Finding your balance. You may need to shorten your stance or heel toe that right foot out so you're on your railroad tracks. And a deep breath here, keeping the knee in line or behind the ankle on the right leg. And let's take the hands behind us, interlacing the fingers, squeezing the shoulder blades together. You can bend the elbows if that's more comfortable. And we're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, humble warrior. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. From here, we're going to bring the hands a few feet in front of that right foot. Take a deep breath, connecting the abdomen with the right thigh. And begin to shift the weight into the right foot. And then keeping that left big toe on the floor, you're already in the posture, or you can begin to lift it, coming into standing splits. So even if that left big toe is on the floor, you're still in the posture. Plug the right big toe into the earth, check in with your hips, make sure that left hip isn't opening up, it's staying in line. And then lower the head towards the right shin. If you want to bend the right knee and grab around the base of the right foot, feel free. And then you can join the other hand. Or just stay right where you are. And then lengthening through the right leg, stepping back down into our warrior one foot position. Inhale up strong. Exhale, let's open the chest wide, elbows and shoulder blades pulling towards each other in the back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands to the floor, stepping back into down dog here. And then you may want to walk your dog. Or you may find stillness, whatever's working for you. Lifting out of the shoulders, pressing into the fingertips. And again, if you don't want to do down dogs, just stay in tabletop or stay standing. Inhale, the left foot comes up without opening the head. Exhale, stepping through the hands, coming into a slight lunge, and then externally rotate that right foot to a 45-degree angle. Plug the left toes down, squeeze through the inner thighs, coming up into warrior one. Good. And now keeping that left knee in line or behind the left ankle. Bringing the hands behind us, interlacing the hands, squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. You can bend the elbows if that's more comfortable. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, humble warrior. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, belly engaged. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. And then bring those hands to the ground. In front of the left foot, about shoulder width distance apart. And again, step forward, beginning to bring the weight into the left foot. Plug that left big toe into the ground. You can keep the right toe, the right big toe on the ground, or begin to lift it. Checking in that our hips stay in alignment. Can bend that left knee, make a connection between the abdomen and the thigh. And then you can slowly walk those hands towards the back of the left heel. You can leave one hand out or one hand in. And exhaling with control, stepping back down into our warrior one position. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bringing those shoulder blades and elbows towards each other in the back. Exhale, let's bring the arms down and stepping back into down dog or coming down into child's pose. Staying here for a breath. And then let's work through our flow. Inhale, forward shift. exhale, lower, inhale, up dog or cobra, exhale, down dog. A few deep breaths here. Inhale, bending the knees, looking forward. Exhale, hop or step to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, root down to rise up. Exhale, lower. Good. All right, let's move into our next set. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Plank, half plank, tabletop. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Or child's pose, wherever you're at. Deep exhale. All right, again, let's lift that right foot up. Exhale, step the foot forward. Now finding our foundation here, we're gonna roll that left foot out to a 90-degree angle for warrior 2 feet. So plugging into the right big toe, engaging the belly, arms windmill up into warrior 2. So from here, checking in with your alignment, keeping that right knee in line or behind the right ankle. And now we're gonna grab elbow to elbow in the back. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, peaceful warrior with arms bind behind us. Tilting backwards, left shoulder comes towards the left foot. Inhale, center. Exhale, tilting into extended side angle with arms still behind us, elbow to elbow. If that's a lot for you, you can move the right arm to the right thigh and keep the left arm behind you in a half bind. Inhale, arms back up to center. Exhale, windmill the arms down, stepping back into a down dog. Finding some movement or stillness, whatever fits you. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, bringing that left foot forward, turning the right foot out into warrior 2 position, plugging down through the left foot, engaging the belly, lifting up, warrior 2. Let's check in with that left knee, make sure it's in line or behind the left ankle, and then let's grab elbow to elbow. Maybe put the other elbow on top this time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Grabbing elbow to elbow. Sinking into the left side a little further. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, extend into extended triangle. Trying to create that straight line between the right armpit and the outside of the right ankle. Inhale, back to center, warrior 2 arms. Exhale, windmill the arms down, coming back into down dog. Good job. Coming into child's pose, tabletop, down dog. Whatever whatever feels good for you here. And let's flow through one more time. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, hop or step forward, coming into a forward fold here. Grab elbow to elbow, side to side. Rooting down through the feet, engage the belly, inhale up. Good. All right, so from here, we're going to come into some eagle positions, giving our shoulders a stretch. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, right arm under the left arm, grabbing shoulder to shoulder, or bringing the tops of the hands back to back, or continuing to twist, bringing palm to palm. Now we're going to sit down in a chair position, engage the belly, shift the weight to the left leg, and bring the right leg up and over. Right big toe can come to the earth, it can stay there, or lift up and keep twisting. Elbows are squeezing together and squeezing towards the belly button, and we're trying to lift the shoulders above the hips instead of forward folding. And when you're ready, you can begin to lift the elbows. And again, you can keep that right big toe on the floor. From here, we're gonna straighten the left leg, flex the right foot behind us, and come into a warrior three variation with eagle arms. Checking in with our hips, bringing the right hip down if it's lifted up behind us. And then inhale, back up to center, arms up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Good. And a deep breath in and out here. All right, let's switch sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left arm under the right, grabbing shoulder to shoulder, or continuing to twist the arms. Belly engaged. Exhale, sinking down into a chair. Transferring the weight to the right leg, bringing the left leg up and over, squeezing the legs together. Left toe can stay on the floor, or it can continue to wrap around the calf. Let's bring the shoulders back up over the hips. And then if you're ready, lifting the elbows and beginning to unwind the legs, coming into warrior three. You can again keep the left foot on the floor, you're already in the posture, or flex those toes, coming into warrior three. Feeling that deep stretch and release through the shoulders and the traps. Inhale up. Exhale, lower, and inhale up. Exhale, release completely. Good. All right. From here, we're going to go back down into a child's pose. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. The last good forward fold of the day. So, making it whatever feels good to you. And then we're slowly going to come down into tabletop. And then move through tabletop, coming into child's pose. When you're ready, engage the belly, coming back into tabletop. And from here, we're going to do dolphin. And again, we're listening to our bodies. So if this doesn't feel good, don't do it. Skip it. Do child's pose. Find another posture that feels right for you. So from here, our tabletop position, we're going to bring our elbows down to where our wrists were. So elbows about shoulder width distance apart. Let's interlace our hands and tuck the toes under. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and again, lifting out of the shoulders. Exhale, lifting those hips up towards the ceiling, belly pulls in tight, pressing through the forearms. Deep breaths here. Lifting out of the shoulders. Exhale, come down, 2 knees, and then again, coming back into child's pose. Maybe this time, bring your knees closer together, and then bring the hands down back by the feet. Good. Squeezing the knees towards each other, belly engaged, inhale, round up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Good. Now, if you have a forearm stand in your practice, this would be a good time to pause the video and go ahead and do that forearm stand now that the shoulders are very warmed up. But if you're skipping that today, we're going to go ahead and come into thread the needle. So coming into our tabletop position, we're going to inhale the right arm up, exhale, thread the needle, bring the right arm under the left arm, lower the right ear to the ground, and bring the left hand straight in front of us. Take a couple of deep breaths here, pressing the tops of the feet and the shins into the floor. Good, and now let's unwind. Let's bring the left hand back into position. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, lower. All right, let's switch sides. So inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle, left arm under the right arm. Left shoulder and ear to the ground. Right arm extends above us. Deep breaths here. All right, good. Let's bring that right hand back to a supported position and unwind. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, back down. Okay, so we're going to lower down, come into a half plank position, and then lower all the way to the floor, forehead down. So we're going to do a little bit of an unusual stretch here, and then when I went to the yoga class when I first did this stretch, I wondered why I hadn't been doing it my entire life. So, it's amazing, but again, if it doesn't feel right for you, just skip it, don't do it. So from here, forehead down, we have our arms out in a T position. So let's bring our right ear to the ground, bring our left hand in a little bit just to support us, and begin rolling over onto the right hip, and then bring that left foot down, touching the ground a little behind the right knee. So we're really opening up the front of the right shoulder, breathing into the body, exhaling any tension. Good, and then on the next exhale, roll it back down to center. Extend the left arm out to a T position. Bring your left ear down to the ground. Move the right arm in just to kind of support us. And then begin to roll onto the left hip, bringing the right foot behind us. Inhaling into the body, exhaling any tension. And then slowly unwinding, rolling down. And then from here, we're going to press back up into our last child's pose. Again, you can have that blanket in between hips and heels. Let's bring the arms down low, hands by the feet. Let the shoulders round in. Good. Inhale, squeeze the inner thighs together, pull the belly in tight, rounding up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. And from here, we're going to come into fish pose. So if you have a bolster at home, that's great. Get it out, or you can use a pillow, or you can even use a block for this in a very specific position, but a pillow might work better. So we're going to come into a seated position, and before we go into fish, let's just warm up the core a little bit. So flat back, lengthening through the spine, both sits bones are plugged into the earth, and we begin to walk our toes back until we feel those core muscles engage and fire up. Let's place our hands behind our legs and then tilt, finding a place of balance with your big toes off of the ground. If you want, you can bring those feet up to parallel with the floor. You can release one arm and the other. You can put both arms out in front of you, whatever feels good, and then slowly with control, coming back down. All right, so now we're gonna place our hands behind us and then coming down onto our elbows. And then finding a place where the bolster fits you well. I'm gonna leave my knees bent to protect my lower back. And I'm gonna slowly roll down. And with this position, we just want the shoulders to melt away towards the earth. Palms of the hands up towards the ceiling. Chest is opening. Eyes can close. Take a few deep breaths here. Good. And now we're going to come back up onto the elbows. And then the hands pressing up to a seated position. We're going to move that bolster out of the way. Although it might come in handy in a second for Shavasana. So we're going to roll back down onto our spines. And then bring our knees into our chest. Can interlace the fingers. Knees can be separate or together. If you can and you have that flexibility, you can grab elbow to elbow. Let's try and keep the spine on the floor. And again, always support yourself in whatever way feels good for you. So I'm going to bring this blanket in under my neck. And you can rock gently side to side. Massaging the lower spine, the lower back. Good. And now we're going to come into our final Shavasana. So, legs straighten. I'm going to lower my blanket a level for my pillow. And then heels together, toes swap out. Palms up, arms out to the side. This is where the bolster can make it nice and comfy. For Shavasana, bringing that bolster in underneath the knees, supporting the lower back a little bit more. And just take a moment here to sit in the silence, lay in the silence. Deep breathing. Slowing your breath, letting your body rest, letting it seal in all the hard work it did today. And now I'll be guiding you through a meditation focused on letting go of tension and stress. So if you want to stay in Shavasana for the meditation, stay there, laying down, whatever feels good for you. If you would like to come to a seated position for meditation, go ahead and do that now. Finding a place where you can stay comfortable and still. And from here, we begin to bring our awareness to where our body is touching the floor or the blanket or the bolster. Noticing the points of contact between the body and the floor. Noticing the floor supporting us comfortably. Muscles aren't having to work. Just sinking into the earth. And now we're bringing our awareness to the breath as it enters and leaves the nose. Noticing the temperature of the air on the inhale and the temperature on the exhale. Bringing awareness to the gentleness or forcefulness of the breath, the smoothness or the raggedness. Just watching it without judgment. And now turning our attention to the belly, with the rise and fall of the belly with each breath. And if your mind becomes distracted by thoughts or or sensations or sounds, gently, kindly bringing your attention back to the breath and the rise and fall of the belly. And now bringing awareness to both feet, to the toes, and the bottoms of the feet, and the tops of the feet, the heels and the ankles. Noticing any sensations, not trying to change them, not judging them, just accepting what we're feeling in our body. And then becoming aware of any senses in the lower part of the leg, any sensations in the calves or the shins. Bringing awareness to the kneecaps and behind the knees. And the tops of the thighs, and then the hamstrings, the glutes and the hips. Noticing any sensations without judgment or without trying to change them. Just acceptance of whatever we become aware of. And then noticing sensations in the lower back, the small of the back, in the middle back, in the upper back, in between the shoulder blades, on top of the shoulder blades. And then noticing sensations in the belly, in the rib cage, in the chest. And then noticing any sensations in the shoulders, in the tops of the shoulders, the sides, the fronts of the shoulders. Bringing awareness to sensations in the neck, in the throat, and then the base of the skull, the back of the skull, the crown of the head, and then noticing sensations in our ears, our jaw, our nose, eyes and eyelids, and our forehead. Just acceptance of whatever it is that's coming up for us. And now if there's a particular part of your body that you noticed tension, stress, or pain, let's nurture it now. Visualize air coming in on the inhale, fresh, clean, healing oxygen, going directly to that body part, enveloping it, surrounding it, releasing any negative feelings or sensations. Exhaling those negative sensations out of the body. Inhaling healing oxygen to that body part. Exhaling out tension, stress, or pain. And then bringing awareness again to where the body meets the floor, those points of contact. Noticing the temperature of the air on the skin. Maybe bringing movement into the toes and fingers. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. If you're laying down in Shavasana, you can roll over to the side of your choice. Resting there, realigning the spine, the energy points of the body. And then when you're ready, pressing up to a seated position. We'll end our practice with a quote, and then one more deep inhale all together. The quote for today is, "The day she let go of the things that were weighing her down was the day she began to shine the brightest." All right, let's take one more deep inhale together, arms out to the side. Inhale up. Exhale to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. The light in me acknowledges and salutes the light in each of you. Namaste.